So I'm going to be reacting to the video that Boogie just put up shortly after Jesse put up his video. I think it was shortly after. And it's called MCJUGGERNUGGETS Exposed Truth About MCJUGGERNUGGETS. Oh, I like that word. Anyway, actually I was kind of thinking about, well, I didn't really talk about it that much with 3D Loki. He's someone I always talk to about Jesse's videos, if you don't know. I mention him all the time because he always has good insight. And we pretty much talk after every single video, and we have like a long discussion, and yeah, so I talked to him for a little tiny bit, but not very much. I think from, you know, stepping back away from the video Jesse put up today, kind of thinking about it a little bit, I think it is kind of going the way, this is like my opinion so far. Of course it could change, and I could be wrong in the future, but I think it's going in the direction of you don't really know you don't really know him like you think you know him. And Jesse thinks that he knows him, but you know, like maybe he's acting a little bit obsessed with Jesse. And of course I just think that's just characters, it's just a series. I don't think Boogie is really like that. I mean, look, there you go. Like, you don't really know him. I don't really know Boogie. But I do find it really interesting how Parker is really scared of Boogie, I guess. And how Boogie says like so many things like, you know, like I love you, and it's just fangirling a lot. Like, he's definitely fangirling, and so I do kind of see it going that way, and Jesse doesn't see that yet, because he's not that he's in denial or anything like that, not that he ever is thinking anything yet, but I think maybe in the future he will kind of see, because we don't know about that spare room, and I'm not going to say anything more about that. I was kind of thinking that maybe the roommate, which I don't even know if there will be a roommate, or if there is a roommate, I was thinking that maybe that person is crazy. It's not Boogie, but like Boogie has this crazy person that, you know, in his house that they don't know about. I don't know. And then they would have a fight between the roommate. I don't know if there is even a roommate, right? So yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna react to this video. Yeah. Let's get started. I'm gonna start it right now.
Do you want me to do the intro, or do you want to do the intro?
You can do the intro. It's your favorite.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of
different.
YouTube, Boogie2988, coming at you live once again through the power of the internet.
How does that work again?
I'm live through the power of the internet.
You're not. People. No.
I'm live right now. You're live.
See, there's a
This is
huge
the
problem.
internet.
There's a huge problem with that because
And
this
we're
is
using the
recorded.
power.
It's pre-recorded. We're recording right now.
I understand, but
It's
that's the shtick.
All right, just
Jesse.
saying.
That's
Hey
what-
there, Jay. Zero Power Sharon here. That makes sense. That's really plain. I am McJuggernuggetts. If you guys don't know me, on Boogie's channel right now.
And we're hanging out this weekend, and I've seen all of his fans like, oh, Boogie, he's just using you for views.
Of course.
Well, I'm now using him for views.
That's
right
all it
now.
is.
That's it is.
Like, my name's gonna be in the title, and I'm gonna be in the thumbnail.
Right. It's like putting PewDiePie in the title. Instant money.
Are you gonna put mid-roll ads on this?
So here's okay. So I'm watching him upload the video we did yesterday, and this dude was like mid-roll ad.
Oh,
mid-roll
he
ad.
acts so different. Like, well, obviously, like, we know this is a character. But, like, he's playing a character. But, like, it's so weird how you can see the differences in how they act when they're in a series and when they're not in a series. And they're all both trying to portray this as real-life vlogs. Sorry about my puppy. Ugh, Mom is in there. I don't know why she's whiny, or he, I'm not sure which one it is. Okay, whatever. Anyway, well, as I was saying, it's so crazy to see how much they change when they're in and out of character, or in between series. So I can definitely see a difference in Boogie. He definitely seems much more calm and relaxed and smart than he did in the vlog. Well, I don't want to say not smart. I mean, or he seems more smart than in his vlog, but he definitely seems completely different. Anyway, I keep going.
6, 7, boom, boom, boom. Like every interval that he can comfortably do it, he's shoved them in.
Wait, hold on, what?
So I'm watching him upload the video we did yesterday, and this dude was like mid-roll ad, mid-roll like 6, 7, boom, boom, boom.
Oh,
like
all
every
these
interval
ads?
that he could
Wow.
comfortably do it, he's shoved them in. if you guys know this, I make a lot of 10-minute videos.
You ramble. This is a rambling video.
Right. It's just one cut. Just me talking.
So I thought, Boogie definitely put some ads in there because he talks for so long.
He's never. Today, he convinced me for the first time to put a mid-roll ad.
To use you guys for more money, because that's all I know, guys. But no, he appreciate what he's been doing. He hasn't been putting any ads, but I told him, he definitely can. If you're gonna have a long video, got to make it worth the time, and they're just little pieces.
So please forgive me if you come across a mid-roll ad in this one.
It's my fault. It's my fault.
He's yelling at me.
People should just sign up for YouTube.
I thought today we would talk a little bit about what we're doing here in Fayetteville. Why you came to Arkansas?
Thank you once again. Why? Because you paid for my flights, dude.
Right. Well,
here's a place to stay.
Here's the thing. We met at VidCon this year. Well, we met 2 years ago, first time.
Yeah, but I was in character 2 years ago.
This last year we met. It was right at the end of the Psycho series. He was super intense. Like, it was terrifying. You terrified me that night. That's exactly, his eyes were like that. And I thought, is he in character? Is he crazy? I don't know. Maybe the Psycho series did some real damage to him. I think it did, just to be frank. Well, last night we bonded like this, man. It was crazy.
We did.
So I wanted to talk about some of the stuff that we talk about on this channel all the time.
Ooh,
Number one, I want to talk about health stuff.
Yeah, dude. Actually, those are some of my favorite videos of yours. When you talk about the really deep, like mental health, your weight issues and things. It's like that's the stuff that people don't talk about on YouTube. Right. It's all the good stuff.
I love these videos. The videos that Boogie puts up that are like the discussion. Those are my favorite. I always love those, and I always love the powwows that Jesse did during the Psycho series, and I hate that they're not there anymore because I feel that they bring a lot of insight. They make you think about things in a different way. They teach you something, and it also helps the creators get their thoughts out as well. So I think it's really awesome that Boogie does this and continues to, and I wish Jesse would do this more often. But yeah.
You just went through surgery just this last year. How long ago was the surgery?
I did. That was around 2.5 months now.
And you suffered from that was the surgery to correct a bunch of broken stuff inside you. Like, you had organs glued together.
Yeah, that's what ended up being the result. But for 2 years, I had no idea what it was.
Right.
Doctors were telling me like, we don't know. I had 2 MRIs done. I had 2 ultrasounds done. A CAT scan, X-rays, showed nothing, and I ended up having to bite the bullet, get exploratory surgery. Just to figure out, and it turns out my colon was glued to my abdominal wall, glued to my testicular cord.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
You told me this full story last night, and I mean, I would love it if you would tell them what you told me.
Yeah, it feels like a very bad dream because it was a different phase of my life. But yeah, I was in college. It was my senior year, and I was working at the bank, and I decided to quit. I told my boss, hey, I'm doing YouTube full time. We decided to do a video every day. 7th day, we did the skit, 21 shots. At the end of the skit, I fall through this makeshift table, and I hit my head. My head caught the fall. Impacted, rattled my brain around. It was a cement floor.
I think, if anyone wants to know real Jesse, I think this is him. I think the way that he's acting is very real. He's talking about real situations that happened during his YouTube career. And I think this is all very real, so you can definitely it's easy. Well, it's not always easy, but you can sometimes pick out the real Jesse. And I think this video, I think the powwows that he does, the fan mails, the streams, I think all those places is where you can see the real Jesse. Because he could say he's playing character. He's playing a character, but there isn't really the series or character situations going on during these types of videos and streams. So he's being very himself, I think. That's what I think.
With just a little bit of carpeting on there. And after that, I was fine. 3 days later, it was like lights went out. And I pretty much became almost like a vegetable. And I was not a person. I had to just lay in my bed. I couldn't fucking think. Which is a weird phenomenon. You can't use your brain. We all use it. You're using it right now watching this video, but imagine you couldn't use it. So somebody tries to talk to you, you can't really receive what they're saying.
And you said that's when you first met your girlfriend, Julia,
yeah,
right?
It was a few months after we started dating.
So you were that messed that up. It messed up school. It messed up your social life. It messed up you trying to get started on YouTube. I mean, it screwed everything up.
Yeah.
And you were telling me that the doctors like could not find the source
they
of
didn't
it.
give
They
it.
did a
They
CAT
didn't give a
scan.
shit. Yeah, I got a CAT scan done, and most concussions or brain injuries, they don't show up on scans. So immediately they're like, "Oh, it's all in your head."
I can't imagine what that's like. I can't imagine to not be able to think straight and have people tell you you're imagining.
You
it.
feel helpless, and it's frustrating as all hell, and you just want to like punch something. And yeah, I would stare at the wall. I would stare at the ceiling for like 8 hours a day. I couldn't look at my phone. I couldn't even play video games. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even think about ideas. Couldn't do YouTube. It was senior year of college. I was just barely skating by my classes. I had to go to my professors and be like, "Look, I can't think. Like, I know it's bullshit, but I'll show you the video. Like, I'm seriously messed up in my head." And it was scary to think that I didn't feel like a human, and that the brain, how important it is. It's really everything.
But my question is, so I know how much of Francis is me.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
How much of the Psycho Kid is you?
That's a good question.
That's a good.
Like, is that just a cathartic thing
Well,
for you?
I think just this is my opinion. This is what I think. I think that the psycho part isn't really him. He's not. He's slow to anger. I think he's very forgiving. Like I had said, he doesn't like anyone mad at him. He doesn't like to make anyone mad. So I don't think that part's really real. But I mean, like real as in that's like how Jesse is in real life. I think that maybe the part that's like the most like him with the character is the passion that he had to make it on YouTube and for gaming even. The passion and how he's so strong-willed and how he was really motivated and dedicated to making his dreams come true even when everyone around him would tell him otherwise. Because even though he had the support of his family, lucky for him, there are other people, obviously, who I mean, you know, during the series in his real life that probably didn't like think. So I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of people that questioned that about him and what he was doing. But he stuck with it, and I think that's really him. I mean, obviously we know Jesse's an extremely hard worker. He never stops working. He just wants to keep succeeding, and that's how his character was too. So I feel like that's like the similarities between the two. But let's hear what Jesse himself has to say.
Well, is that how you express like the fucking frustration with the mental shit, with the physical health shit, or is it? I mean, are you a little bit crazy?
I think everybody is a little bit in their own way.
Yeah.
Mine, it is a release for sure. I'm not an angry person. I'm very calm. I'm very chill. Like if for those of you guys that meet me, I'm super just laid back.
He really is, by the way. I thought he was going to be like a jerk. I was afraid that you might be a bit of a jerk, but no, he's the sweetest fucking kid.
And then
Really
for playing the characters, it's very much a release of all that inner demons and shit, all that frustration. It gets to come out, and in my mind, it's a healthy way. It's like hiding. You call it hiding behind the character, but it's almost just like living in somebody else's shoes, getting to express yourself, so that real you doesn't have to deal with that fucking burden or the lash or the consequences.
Right. And I feel like we're kind of yin and yang because of that. Mm-hmm. I think that because my background and my history is very Francis Esch, and now I'm trying to not be that person, and I've succeeded. I think very much that you are a pretty normal, healthy, happy kid who's taken all of this stuff in stride, and then that's a character that you've invented to release some of the some of the frustration that you can't express as
because there's some real basis behind it. Yeah, I wanted to be a pro gamer. I wanted to be a YouTuber.
This is amazing. I don't know if you guys do your Juggies know the story? I know my fans don't, but you were pro Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, we were the top team in the world on Left 4 Dead, the first one. The problem was my three best friends were kicking ass, and it was the most fun ever. But the problem, it didn't get picked up by like MLG circuit.
Which is a shame because that was such a good series.
Oh, so fun.
Gabe, if you're watching, and we know you're not, please release Left 4 Dead 3.
Yeah.
So you can go right into Left 4 Dead 4.
We know it's coming. We've
Left
seen
4
the
Dead 4.
leaked rumors and stuff.
Like, but they're never gonna make it. They never fucking.
No, it's like, dude, they're holding on to every sequel, and it's gonna come.
But that's the thing, and this is what you were telling me last night. Psycho series, a lot of it does reflect your own frustration, and people, I don't think people realize that. But you were trying to go pro gamer. Your dad was riding you a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not Psycho Dad level, but definitely You know, you got to get a job. You're paying for your school. You got to get this shit figured out.
And I think and that's the beauty of it is everybody can relate to that.
Right.
You know, every kid. I know a lot of kids on YouTube. They want to be a YouTuber,
right.
which is weird for us because we started when that wasn't a thing.
Right.
And then for any fan of a video game, you want to be involved in gaming somehow.
Of course.
Like, why not? Like, that just sounds like a really awesome life.
And I will tell you, and this is a parallel that I think about a lot. Your dad, who obviously bent over backwards to make YouTube happen for you. And obviously, sir, if you ever see this, thank you for doing this for this kid. I mean, holy crap. The perfect example of what a father's supposed to do. But at the same time, he was cautious about it.
And he's cautious about you, too.
I know.
You saw him in the video. He's like,
he's going to come home safe, I promise. He'll have at least 9 of his fingers and toes when he gets there.
Did you book that flight yet?
I mean, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. The point that I'm making is...
anyway.
The point that I'm making is... what was the point I was making?
Something about my dad.
Because now I'm thinking
really
about...
good.
Yeah, your dad was cautious about it. He's like, you know, like, I want YouTube for having you, but is it realistic? Is it a thing that'll happen?
Is it realistic?
I'll tell you, my best friend in the world, my roommate, who you exchanged one word with last night before I was way to work.
He said, hey.
But when I was looking for a job and also making YouTube videos, and I couldn't find a job, and I put out 200 resumes, and I just could not find work. Because people get one look at me and they would walk away. They don't want to put me on their healthcare plan.
Right.
You know? He's like, are you still working on the YouTube thing? And one day I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to apply for jobs anymore. I think I'm going to focus exclusively on YouTube for a while. And I had disability to support that, but that was like $700 a month or whatever it was. Like, I think it was $700, $800. It's just barely enough to survive. So if YouTube didn't work, I was going to fall apart. And he's like, I don't know if you should put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
And obviously I did put all my eggs in one basket, and it did pay off.
Yeah. But that's like the realistic response. It's like the odds of it succeeding. You got to go with the odds on that one. It's like, well, it's a, you know. But we're both deluded as fuck, so it made sense in our mind.
Well, I think, to be honest, I think about Bo Burnham a lot, and Bo Burnham says, you know, that's the thing we talk about. We tell everybody that everyone can be successful, and that's not true. Only a handful of people will be successful. But that's the thing. Bo says, you know, I was born into a privileged situation.
Who's Bo Burnham?
He's my favorite musician and comedian. Fucker. But he says in an interview, he says, look, you know, I was born into a privileged position.
Right.
And I had everything going for me, and I still got lucky, and I'm still miserable.
And maybe that helped, honestly. Maybe it helped that it was all or nothing.
I don't think I would have been as brave as you. I don't think I could have walked away from a decent paying job at a bank and said, you know what, quit. What did you say to her when you quit?
I told her, I was like, I'm quit, I can't do this. And she said, what are you going to do now? I was like, I'm going to be a big YouTuber. And she's like,
what's that?
She
didn't know what the fuck it was, right?
It's like, all right.
All right, well, that's...
Sure.
I guess that's, like, irritating. Why would the manager or whatever ask you, so what are you going to do now? Like, what the hell? Like, life isn't, you know, his life isn't going to die without freaking bank. I don't know, that's, like, irritating.
Whatever you say.
I mean, Wilson, I'm going to be a Prussian prince one day. Okay, I don't know what the fuck
that was a ballsy fucking thing to say to her, too.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's how delusional I was. That's how badly I wanted it. And
oh, yeah, he was talking about that.
That's the thing, I think,
videos.
for any of you guys aspiring to be something, you know, or have these big dreams, I think it's very easy to be looking at the easy, safe choice and almost have that as a fallback. And it almost limits you from really excelling at what you want to be doing. Because it's like, oh, I mean... I'll be all right regardless. It's not as dire. Like if it's desperate.
You had that safety net underneath you of a loving family who would help make sure you found the right place. It could take over your student loans if they needed to. Had a room for you to sleep in, and you used everything that you had to your advantage to take reasonable risks. And I think that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's really smart.
And I think that's
Jesse's
amazing.
really smart.
Has it paid off for you? It's been incredible. And
thank you guys.
The other thing that I really respect about you, since this is about kissing your ass, the other thing that I really respect about you.
Hold on, Ben.
Is
we can do that.
You bring like some real sketch comedy to YouTube when it's kind of vacant there. And it's still improv. You even compared it a little bit to Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I think that's very accurate. Yeah. That's what I think the best stuff on YouTube is. And I've seen how you work because we're working together right now. We're filming together right now. I love the fact that you're one of the very few people telling a story still. You know, not a lot of people try to use their channel to tell a long story, an interesting story. A lot of people try to use their channel to just one and done. This will go viral. This stands alone. But a handful of YouTubers like Casey Neistat is kind of telling a series, and you are certainly telling a series. And I think YouTube doesn't get to be it's more of a Good Mythical Morning kind of atmosphere where every episode stands on itself, and you might come back for more, but even if you don't, that one video or that one skateboarding video or that one prank video that goes viral, people stand on those laurels.
Right.
You're one of the very few people that, while every Psycho all 700 videos in the Psycho series stands alone,
right,
they also tell a very cohesive
The long narrative is where it's at. And yeah, it's a hard thing to be telling stories on YouTube, because it's like, you could just do a vlog at that point.
Right.
And that's why, the style has become like, let's skit mixed with vlog and tell a story, because I want there to be substance to it. Right. I don't like just entertaining people. I want there to be some kind of moral, some kind of purpose, some takeaway, because YouTube very much is just like fucking tabloids. We're in the golden age of drama and clickbait and using people's names and diss tracks and all this shit, where it's like, yeah, it's entertaining, but what's it actually doing?
Right. And I'll say the other thing that I think is interesting, and I just want to get on record. Okay? So you answer this question if you're comfortable answering this question, because this is a loaded question here.
Oh, jeez, here we go.
I mean, this is
loaded baked potato.
I met you 2 years ago, and I was only slightly familiar with their content. I had seen most of the Psycho virals at that point. I had only checked out maybe 1 or 2 vlogs, but I don't have a lot of time to watch a 20-minute, 30 thing.
Right.
So I'd seen only scarce little pieces of that.
Did you just give Scarce a shout out there?
Hey guys, today we're talking about Jesse Ridgway, very, very big character, very, very big channel, 3.5 million views. Wow, I'm even fatter than Scarce. Sorry. That's the meme. I think that's the meme. I don't know much about the.
I think
I think that's the meme. He's supposed to be fat, but he's not actually fat.
Yeah, and he wears plaid.
He wears plaid. I think it's the thing. I don't know. Anyway,
you were safe with that.
But you're distracting me from the loaded question.
Sorry, it's rambling.
You
what
can't handle this. You
rambling.
can't handle a big, hard hand.
Hit me.
All right. So I asked you a question. I said to you, I said, so how much of this is real? And then I said, you know what? I don't want to know. I'd rather not know. I'd rather have the illusion. But since then, you've just come out and told the world that the Psycho series is scripted, and that not everything we do on camera is real.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is, like, even down to your vlogs, how much of that's real, Jesse? How much you put on the
That is a loaded question, because if I say it's 100% fake, then it's like, well, what the hell?
Then what's real, right?
What's real? Who is Jesse Ridgway?
What about 90%?
Is this Jesse Ridgway? Does that mean
what
this
about
is
80%? Because like I watch the vlogs where you're.
That's so funny that they talk about this, because like I always like bring this up in the not always. I used to bring it up in the streams, and I think there was one time when I was like, okay, Jesse, like when it was on sub only mode, I was like, okay, I have a question. Like, I don't think it was that. Well, I guess I was kind of saying, like, how can we get to know you when everything is fake? Like, how? And I guess I was saying, like, a lot. And he was like, oh, geez, okay, what do you want to know? And that's, like, it's like the same thing. And it's so funny. He keeps repeating the same answers. And it's like I never obviously I never talked to Boogie about this subject. But it's like he's, like, asking the same thing I asked him. And so does everyone else. I don't know. Jesse can't get away from that question or that topic. But it's very interesting. I find it very interesting because I've never seen anything like it. It's almost like a fantasy almost when you mix like vlog real life with like it's not real. Like it's like you create your own world or your own life. And it seems real in a way it is real. I don't know. It's really weird. It's really interesting though. Anyway.
When I really started getting into your content and found the time to watch was when you were revamping the house. I forget whose house it was.
It was my Aunt Jackie's second house. Moving out.
I was trying to find the real reason you were revamping that house.
Right.
Was the storyline?
Oh yeah.
I had my
what did you think?
Thoughts about the divorce or the separation. I thought that couldn't be real, but maybe that is real.
Oh yeah, I thought that like obviously the divorce was real, but I thought that like it's not because of what's happening. That's not why. It's like they're divorced because of something else. They're just kind of like using that as a storyline, as an issue or whatever. So that's what I kind of... Yeah, so it's like, when he says, oh, you were fixing up Aunt Jackie's house, what's the real reason? Is she really wanting to sell it, and then she could use someone to fix it up for her? Like, like, kind of like, okay, I'll let you use the house to film in if you fix it up for me so that I could sell it. I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking for that too.
Oh, it was real, and then I just created a story around it.
Right.
Kind of
So
thing?
like,
Yeah.
I never knew.
Exactly.
Are you creating these events to tell the story around, or are you telling the story around the events that are already happening anyway?
95% fake.
Right. And so here's the thing. And me and my
So
wife were laying in bed
second.
last night after our first night hanging out with Jesse. And my wife says, man, you know, he's the sweetest kid I've ever met. I really like him, and I even like Parker. And he goes, she goes, you know, don't tell him this. So, oops.
Oh my
She's
God!
like, "Don't tell him
It's
this," but
online.
I was kind of afraid after seeing some of the videos, especially the ones
Oh,
with
shit.
Michael, that maybe he was going to be a
Oh.
little bit of a jerk,
Not like that at all.
you know?
Right.
So the point that I'm making is don't believe everything you see on the internet.
Yeah.
Don't believe everything
And that's
you see
across
on
the board. That's not even just like, oh, the McJuggernugget's YouTube channel or, you know, a Francis skit. That
Right.
goes to every fucking YouTuber.
Right. Take and be cynical. Be cynical.
Yeah.
Use your analytical brain is the best thing that you have. Be cynical. Doubt everything you hear, every piece of news, everything. Do the research for yourself. Dig into yourself. Figure out what you believe. You don't have to believe what somebody told you.
Right.
If somebody tells you
Right.
the Psycho series is real, if the Psycho series is fake, you make your own decision and stand by that.
That's a good lesson, yeah,
you know?
because it's
Aw.
like we've seen it on both sides. We've seen, like, not dropping any names or anything, but we've seen YouTubers that play an asshole.
Right.
They have an asshole, narcissistic kind of like dickish attitude in their videos. They meet them in real life, and they're the nicest, awesomest, greatest people in the world.
Yep.
Then on the flip side,
I
you
noticed
have,
how neither of us are willing to drop any names. Right there.
hell no.
Right.
Then you have those people that are like really nice, like, hey guy, you know, the best side version of themselves. Then you see them off YouTube, and they're fucking an asshole.
Yeah.
Wow.
They think
I've
their
only
shit don't stink.
I've only met a handful of actual assholes, honestly. 99% of the people, even the people that YouTubers generally think, viewers think are villains of YouTube, turn out to not be that shitty
Yeah.
in person or in real life.
The needle points to usually pretty good.
A couple of them. I do have a couple people on my shit list, but I'll never fucking say that on a video.
Michael Green?
Oh, he's the worst. I can't believe him, like, exploiting his grandfather that way. All that's 100% real. Yeah,
What are your fans?
I don't have a name for him. Again, I've
Live through the power of the internet, and you don't have
ladies and gentlemen of YouTube.
So they're ladies,
Ladies
and gentlemen.
of YouTube, right?
All right.
Because that's how I view
Nice
everybody.
enough.
Everybody's a nice lady or a nice
All
gentleman.
right, I like that.
Right? There was once at one point somebody recognized Boogie K-N-I-G-H-T-S, Boogie Knights.
Oh, okay,
Boogie Knights.
yeah. That was a WoW.
And
Right,
that's my
guild.
WoW guild.
Yeah.
And if we ever create a guild in a game, that's what we call them. Is the Boogie Knights. I guess that would be my gamers, the people who
Gotcha.
play stuff with me. But everybody else is just they're the love. This is a thing that nobody ever thinks about. We talked about this last night, but I've been giving them
This
all
is really
kinds of trippy
interesting.
shit
I love
that
this.
exists
Oh,
in
yeah.
my brain.
He's been-
And I'm like, you know, when you think about it, I will go to a concert or I'll watch one of my favorite comedians, and they'll sell out the house, and the house will be 1,000 people, and that's a big deal for Kevin Hart when he came here to the Amp, and he sold 1,500 tickets, 1,500 people.
That's a lot.
But you and I, when we make a video, 1,500 views is what we get in the first 60 seconds.
Oh wow.
15,000 is
Crazy.
what we get
That's
in the first
insane.
5 minutes.
Wow.
It is
And
crazy.
and 1.5 million is your average range for a lot of videos, right? Oh, I mean, but
Back
seriously,
in the day, during the series.
right? But I mean, 1.5 million people, and that's not a number. That's a person.
Yeah.
Every person, every view, every one of those is a person just as valid and just as important and just as real, with just as many experiences and
Yeah.
opinions and feelings and emotions and a life
It's all
just
valid.
as rich and important as you and I.
It is.
And
It
that's
is.
like that's what's fascinating about all this. It's difficult for me to. I feel personally, if I were to label them as something, that to me would help. I would lose the identity of that each individual person.
Right.
And when I get that fan mail, when I get that email, when I read that comment, that's from a person. That's not from my fan base. That's not from them as a group. That's from a
another human.
person.
Yeah.
And I try to remember that all the time. And that's tonight, me and you are.
I love
hanging out
Boogie.
if you see this video
Oh,
the day it
good
goes
call,
up,
yeah.
we're going up to Arcadia Retrocade in Fayetteville. All right, we should wrap that up then, and I'll go see why the dog is losing his
I wanted
mind.
to say for a second,
Yeah.
like you were saying with the numbers thing, it's like you talk about the most personal thing, the most personal life issues. That'd be like you going on stage and just letting it all out to the audience. And
I'd love to do that.
There's nothing quite like that. And and it's like, okay, congratulations, he talks about his problems, but in a world where everybody hides their problems, that's one thing I do. I play these characters and stuff and express myself, but it's been a while since I do a video where I'm talking real genuine about shit. But then again, I don't really have much shit to talk about. But for something like you and your whole story, when you have these videos where you talk about your life, there's so many other people going through shit like you, and just how much of an impact that has on them.
Well, thank you for that.
It's unreal.
But that's what I don't think you realize. That what draws me to your work is all that shit that I went through, all that drama, all that messed up stuff. You produce a comical version of that. And I know you expressed to me one point, you know, and I think even when you were talking to Michael in one of your videos, you're like, you make fun of what I've experienced. But to me, making fun of that heals me.
Right.
Like, you know, like to see the comical version of that, to see the funny version of that, to see the absurdity of it. You know, that helps me sleep at night. And that's why I was always drawn to every raging YouTuber. That's why I'll always be drawn to it and specifically you, because you do it so well. It's so believable. You know, when I saw the very first time I saw one of your videos is when your dad lawnmowers everything.
Right.
And you're on the ground letting that out, just letting that whimper out. That whimper, man, that sounded like just the futility of your existence escaping from your face. That to me, I mean...
That was called My Video Games Actually Got Shredded.
Oh, that is right.
It's like, no, it's like that, and that was at a time where I wasn't making really any money on YouTube, so that was an investment. I was like, that was my gaming collection that I prided myself on. I was like, please.
I can't.
Oh, wow.
We should. Okay, so let's wrap it up, guys.
Yeah.
This is. If I didn't introduce him originally, you should probably know him now. This is McJUGGERNUGGETS. This is the man. He's literally one of the top YouTubers. Certainly has twice the audience I have. Twice the. You know, everybody's saying, "Oh, he's using Boogie for views." You're the one bringing me the audience right now, so fuck that.
Even exchange.
Oh, but I love you, man. That's the thing. Can we do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
You already got 2 yesterday, man.
No. Oh, that was good.
I just want to know.
Please, if you want to see lots of more of us, you want to see us interacting.
Oh my god, I would love to see more of them.
Remember that not everything you see on the internet is necessary.
Guys, check out the channel. Check out McJUGGERNUGGETS, because you get to see him in this beautifully framed image. I captured everything. I have the vlogs to prove.
I mean, maybe I am a little crazy, Jesse.
Well, you said Francis come from a real place.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But...
Maybe Francis is the real guy and Boogie's the character. You don't know.
Oh.
You don't fucking know. Is that right, Parker? Is that right, Parker?
There you go.
Are you going to go stay in that hotel now, Parker?
Okay.
What a little bitch. I miss corn. Guys, thanks for watching.
Oh my gosh,
we love you
throw that
very
in there.
much. And let's change the final line. What do we say?
Keep it rigid.
Keep it rigid. See you guys.
Oh, that was so awesome. Oh, I love that. I want to go ahead and like it. I always really loved, like I've said, I love his little things that he does, these little talks. I just love him. He's so, like, I don't know, he just has so many thoughts. I have so many thoughts all the time, and I really like how he talks about them, and I don't know. It's just I just really like his video. I really enjoyed this video a lot. We really got to see the real Jesse, and how he thinks and everything, and it was awesome. It was just an awesome video. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, leave a like if you want to. I don't know if I'm going to include everything that he said in this video, because it was really long. So if there are pieces cut out, if there are, I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. If there are, that's why, because a lot of the parts I was just listening, I wasn't really saying anything. But yeah, I just loved the whole video anyway. So I think there were some things in the video that kind of, like, you know, fed onto the series a little bit between Boogie and Parker. I think that's kind of it. I guess Jesse too, obviously. But I guess we'll know more tomorrow. I'm loving them together a lot. They really bring out the best of each other, and they're both great minds. I just love it. I just love it. So anyway, I guess that's it for now. If you want to go ahead and subscribe, you can, and I guess that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, I'll see you later.